We are here at the Ativo Group, and today we're going to be talking about Starship shipping software and how it integrates with Mass 90 and Mass 200 to make your warehouse more efficient.
And we have two folks on the line with us I'd like to introduce today. Caroline Walsh from V Technologies. She's the VP of Sales and Marketing, and she's been with V Technologies for 14 years. She was intimately involved with the first release of the Starship link for Mass 90. And Dave Henry, he's a sales executive for V Technologies, and he's responsible for the Sage interfaces. Dave previously owned Tanner Technologies, a distributor of Eagle product and OEM of Starship. So he also has many years of shipping software experience. V Technologies has two principal products, Starship and ShipGear. So I'm going to go ahead and hand it off to Caroline to talk further about Starship.
Thanks, Adrian. I appreciate it, and thanks for everyone for taking a few minutes out of your afternoon to take a look at Starship. Like Adrian said, this is kind of our flagship product. We also have a second product called ShipGear, but we'll be primarily looking over the Starship solution today. What I wanted to do is just to give you an overview of our company. So some of you I know may be familiar with the Starship solution, some may not, so we're going to give you a little overview. Not too many PowerPoints, I don't want to overload you with that, but what we really wanted to do after the PowerPoints is to go into a demo of Starship and kind of show you the integration, how it works, and some of the primary features and benefits. So a little background on V Technologies. We've been developing integrated shipping solutions since '89, and that's all we really do here is develop, support, and sell the Starship and ShipGear applications. From the very beginning, we focused on integration, so linking the orders and invoices into the shipping department to help the shippers reduce their errors, but also to help get the invoices out the door in a timely manner. We have thousands of customers using our Starship application, many of whom are Mass 90 and 200 customers. In the past, Sage actually distributed our application, and we're very happy to announce that we've taken back the development reins on our side, and what we're going to be showing you today is our new Starship link for Mass 4.5, and show you all the new enhancements that we've added to the interface to give you even more integration and flexibility with the interface. So a little overview on Starship. It's basically a complete shipping solution that's integrated with Mass 90-200. Some of the things I mentioned before, eliminating double entry, preventing invoicing delays, and giving your customer service team shipment visibility at the time of shipment. So not only does Starship retrieve the information from the order or invoice, we also translate that information on the shipping screen. And then once we process the shipment, we're writing that information back in real time so that your customer service team has that available, and also so that AR can get those invoices out. Starship does support multiple carriers and modes, and by that I mean both parcel and LTL. And then for calculating the rates, we typically connect up to the carrier system, so that does allow you to get both your negotiated and list rates. And then we also provide a lot of flexibility on the write back to make sure that the freight that gets updated on your order or invoice is updated the way that you want it to be updated. So I think that Dave will be going into a little more of that during the demo to show you how that works. We also have a really nice user-friendly interface for personalizing field maps, and this is pretty big because it doesn't require you to go to a master developer or you to make changes inside of Mass. You basically have all the flexibility of, in Starship to say how you want your fields mapped and translated. And we'll also show you a little snippet of that as well. As far as cost savings goes, Starship does allow you to rate shop You can rate shop both parcel and LTL and any carriers that you have licensed in your Starship application. We do support 2 regional carriers, Speedy and OnTrack, and I know customers have been looking at going to these regional carriers as a way to reduce freight spend. OnTrack is a carrier that is headquartered in California, but services about 5 states, including Colorado is a new state that they've just added. So they service quite a bit of the West Coast. And Speedy is a regional carrier in the Midwest that's headquartered in Minnesota, I believe. But they also service North and South Dakota and some parts of Illinois. So going with a regional carrier can sometimes give you additional cost savings as well. Third-party parcel insurance, if you do any declared value, you can use a third-party parcel insurance company to insure those. And Starship gives you an easy way to report those and present that to the third-party insurance company. Starship also gives you a late delivery report. So what we can do is track packages in the background for you, and then we can look at the estimated or guaranteed delivery date versus when it was actually delivered and give you a report on that. So most of the carriers in the last couple of years have gone to a guaranteed ground product. So if for some reason it's slightly late, you can qualify for refunds on that, and that's a good way to make sure that you're getting all the refunds that you deserve. Address validation, Starship does validate addresses on the ZIP+4, so that can help you on those address correction fees that you get from the parcel carriers, which can definitely add up. Also, residential correction fees, can add up on bills many times, so we can do both of those for you in real time. Here's a list of our supported carriers. We do support both parcel and freight, and we utilize FreightView as the means to provide multi-carrier LTL rating within Starship. If anybody has any questions on specific questions on carriers, we can either field those at the end, or you'll have all of our contact information at the end, and you can always contact with us regarding any of these carriers as well. One thing I did want to mention is that we are working on FedEx Freight, which is, UPS and FedEx Freight are some of our most highly asked for LTL carriers. And we added the UPS Freight module recently, and are working on FedEx Freight. So we're continually adding, enhancements, features, carriers to the application. Dave will be showing you a demo of Starship, and like I said, this demo is going to be highlighting the new Starship Link 2.0 with the Mass 90 4.5.
Well, what we thought we would do today is basically just go through a workflow scenario with utilizing shipping data entry within Mass. If everyone can see the screen okay, what I have open is shipping data entry, which is a module inside of Mass that allows you to do your fulfillment on your orders. I'm going to just type in an order here, bring it in to shipping data entry. I'm going to click on fulfillment and fulfill the shipment. Click on the shipping tab, and then you'll notice we have a Starship button here in the lower left-hand panel. Once I click on that, what's going to happen is the Starship user interface is going to populate your screen. The first thing you're going to notice here is a dialog box for address validation. If you can look to the right, you'll see this is the address that has been pushed in from shipping data entry into Starship. And Starship, in the meantime, has gone out and done an address correction. You'll see that it's added not only a zip code, but ZIP+4. It would also validate whether or not the shipment was residential or commercial. This is a feature that you don't have to utilize. It can be turned off completely. You can also set it to validate at the time that you actually process the shipment. We're going to go ahead and use it today. And then I'm going to just kind of go through the screen here and show you what you're actually seeing. If you'll follow the mouse up here to the left-hand corner, I want to bring your attention to this panel. What we have here is the source document, which is actually the invoice that was created in shipping data entry. How we're going to actually process this, and again, this is coming in from MAS, from the ship via inside of MAS, how the shipment should be shipped, how it's going to be paid for, the account number, the sender address, and then again here in the lower panel, the recipient address. If you look at the check mark here, you'll see that it is a valid address. So we did utilize the address validation. Had the address been good coming in originally from MAS, you wouldn't have seen the screen in the middle of the screen. You would just open up here to the UI. Now, we've actually landed on the weight field, and we have a weight coming in from MAS, and this is based on the line item detail on the invoice of the different items that are on the invoice. In the interest of simplicity here, I'm going to change that to less than 150 pounds. So the top of the screen here has various tabs that relate to this particular shipment. For example, if I click on the Recipient tab, you'll see that the information that's filled in here on the Recipient tab is also viewable here to the left. This panel is viewable the whole time as kind of a snapshot of the shipment while you're doing your processing. Let's go back to the Packaging tab. We have the weight in here, and this can be integrated to scales to weigh your packages. You can scan in the weight, or you can type it in as I just did. I'd like to bring your attention down to the center of the screen here to show you some of the controls here that would allow you to add additional packages or boxes to this shipment. You see we're on package 1 of 1. By clicking the next button here, I could go to package 2 of 2. We also have some controls over here to the left, a repeat button that will allow you to add multiple packages all at once to the shipment. And we have an add and delete here to the right. We're going to go ahead and add another package to this shipment. And once I click 2 of 2 and I look back on the Packaging tab at the top, you'll see that we're ready to place the second package on the scale. I'm going to tab one more time here to bring us over to the shipment view. And again, the information that's here to the left is already in place on the shipment view. So we're looking at everything pertaining to the shipment, how it's going to be processed, paid for. We've actually done a time in transit from the UPS servers here because we have the weight in. To the right, we have more general information regarding the shipment, the actual sales order that was utilized in shipping data entry in MAS to produce the invoice. We have the purchase order coming in from MAS. The fact that it's insured has also been mapped in. Quantum View Notify, which most of you probably are aware is UPS's name for ship notification. We have that pulling in as well. Now, if I wanted to find out exactly who was going to receive the ship notifications, I could simply click this ellipse button and see that I have an email address that is mapped in from the order inside of MAS. They will receive a ship notification. And one of the benefits of this is that it eliminates customer service calls. We've all heard of the calls, hey, did the package ship, what's the tracking number? They will automatically receive a ship notification with the tracking information the next day, the next morning, where they can actually go on the carrier website and track the package themselves. You'll notice I have a couple of other email addresses here. In this instance, we have the sales rep that's responsible for this order receiving a ship notification. We also have mapped in an exception notification. Should there be inclement weather or the package be lost or something like that, the courier will actually notify the sales rep so that they can in turn add a little additional customer service. by calling and letting the customer know that the package is either going to be late or not on time. The third email address that we have mapped here is just a generic email address. And the reason we have this map for ship notification, it allows us to maintain those ship notifications on our own for as long as we want. Okay, so pretty much we're ready to process the shipment at this point, but I would like to show you just a couple of other features before we do that. If I wanted to process the shipment, I could actually click the icon at the top here, and when I put my mouse there, you also notice that there's an F5. We have a hot button, the F5 function key, which will allow us to process the shipment without actually clicking the mouse. The icon here to the right is Save as Draft. If I were to click this, this will allow me to save the shipment inside of Starship's database, open it later, and process it. If I wanted to stage the shipment, get it ready to go, but the customer didn't need it shipped until the following week, I can simply go down here and change the ready date, and then open it up later and process it when it needs to go out. I do also want to show you, as Caroline mentioned, the rate shop feature inside of Starship. If I click on the rate shop button, what happens, Starship goes out to the various carrier servers that I have the modules for in Starship and pulls in our contract discount rates for the shipment. We have several features here on the rate shop. We can actually see by number of business days, total days, or estimated delivery, how long it will take the shipment to arrive. I can also view just the retail list rates that carriers offer to everyone else out there, or my volume discount rates. We also have sort functionality on each of these. For example, if I wanted to see how I could get it the quickest to the customer, I could click the delivery. Or ascending, descending rates. To find out the most economical way, I could click on the charges. One other feature that you'll notice here in the rate shop window that Caroline also mentioned was the fact that you not only can process your parcel shipments within Starship's user interface, but you can also ship with common carriers for your LTL shipments. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and process the shipment. This is where your thermal labels would normally print out to go on your packages. We're going to show the labels on the screen here, so it's going to pop up and show you. But in real time, you'll see that both the tracking numbers and the freight were written back to mass for the shipment. I'm going to minimize this. Let's take a look at the documents just briefly here. The thermal label, this is the first package. You'll notice that on the bottom we have the ship reference fields available. If your customers require that, for example, you can have their purchase order printed on the label. This allows them in turn to go to the UPS website and track on utilizing their purchase order versus the tracking number. And the second label. Behind the thermal labels, we actually have a packing list printing out of Starship. This is a nice feature if you want to print a packing list at the time that you process the shipment. This packing list can also be printed on the 4x6 label, thermal label that you utilize for the package. A lot of our customers utilize that and just drop that into the box or put it on the outside of the box. Okay, so just to recap, what we just did was process a shipment from shipping data entry. We fulfilled the order. We clicked on the Starship link. Starship populated the screen. we're able to process the shipment, send back the tracking and freight information to mass, and move on to the next shipment. So it's totally seamless. It does allow you the opportunity to pull in line item detail from your order. This is very beneficial if you do any type of international shipping as well as LTL. Starship will maintain an inventory database that allows you to set up maybe information that you don't currently maintain in mass. I'd like to go in and just show that very briefly. We have an inventory database that can be entered into Starship a couple of different ways. You can actually export your inventory out of mass and import it all at once into Starship. The second way is to actually allow Starship to build your inventory on the fly as you process off of your invoices. This is beneficial because if you do pull it in all at once and 2 weeks later you have an inventory item that you're adding to mass, you don't have to go back in and import it in to Starship. The first time you actually ship that commodity on an invoice utilizing Starship, Starship will add that to the inventory database. Let me just go in just a little deeper here for a second to show you what I mean. The line item for this inventory item is here with all the information. I have two additional tabs. I have a freight tab that allows me to add the NMSC codes as well as the freight classes for this commodity. And again, this totally automates our LTL shipping within Starship. Internationally, we can set up the harmonized Schedule B codes for international commodities, as well as any other documentation that's required, such as the standard certificate of origin or the NAFTA. Okay, that's pretty much all I had today. I do appreciate the opportunity to show it to you, and if anyone has any additional questions after the presentation, please feel free to email me at dhenry@vtechnologies, and I'll be sure and get you the information that you need. I'm going to go ahead and turn it back over